So today we're actually going to be talking about a Star Wars property, Acolyte, okay? And the controversy that is going on with Amandla Stenberg. This is the lady who is playing a double role of Osha and I believe May. They're supposed to be twin sisters and all of that, okay? Now, this show has been getting a lot of hate, okay? Myself partially included, okay? And the main reasoning for it is because it's just what people would consider woke, and it also is just not a good show, okay? So there's been a lot of differing opinions. Some are coming straight up out of bad faith, and that is why your girl, Amandla Stenberg has created a music video.
I'm going viral on Twitter again. Open up the news, find some interesting things. 20 million views, interview from 2018 with Trevor the King. When I was a teen, I was running from city to speak on the story. You know the one.
Yes. Okay. So she created a music video. It was for like Juneteenth, I believe. And she was just talking about all of the hatred that she's been getting in regards to race. Okay. Now, like I said, there are differing opinions. First off, we are going to look at this article and look at some of the lyrics that she had in her music video. I believe it was called Discourse. Okay, so we will be looking at it. All right. So she has a rap song that she came out with, and many people were iffy about it. Okay. It's in black and white. And yes, I'm even thinking about redoing it myself. Okay. But it's in black and white, and she sounds like she's whispering when she's rapping. And her lyrics are talking about all the hatred that she has received. I'm just going to go through some of the lyrics. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to give you some of the lyrics just so you know where she's coming from, and then we'll get into it. At first, it goes with her saying, "I'm going viral on Twitter again. Open up the news to find some interesting things. 20 million views, interview from 2018 with Trevor the King. When I was a teen, I was running from city to speak on a story. You know, the one, police murdering a black boy. My people cried in theaters, finding release. White people cried they could see us as human beings." Okay, so you see she's getting real in depth with what she is saying. Trevor asks what I want the people to know. I say white people crying was the goal. Okay, so that was one of the main things where people were like, oh, okay, so you that kind of person. All right, but what she's saying is, I want you to see us as human beings, but we shouldn't have to die in order for you to be like, man, oh, man, that's really unfortunate that this happened. People should not have to die in order for a point to be proven. Okay, so that's just one. And now you listening, I'm going to tell you something fascinating. They spinning woke, bastardize it and appropriate it. Last I recall, woke was something we created. And now a lot of people are saying woke is kind of synonymous, really, with black. Okay. With woke, people are referring to it as being anything with, different sexual orientations, different races, genders. You having more females than males and certain things. But now it's kind of been skewed to mean, man, y'all got more black people up in here. You know what I mean? And that's what was going on. She then says, speak truth to power. Keep an eye out for you, silly racist. And now you will use it to describe anything they threaten by. Okay. So overall, that is where she was going with this. All right. Many people did not like this as a response. I personally feel as though this is something that I 100% am for. I get it, girl. But I felt that this was not appropriate for you working under Disney as the Acolyte. And I felt like it would have been a better move. Like, you could do this on the side, that's cool, but not to address people who simply don't like you because of something you can't change, which is the color of your skin, just your genetics. Okay, you can't change that. And this is really what this was referring to. Because at the end of the day, at least from my perspective and what I see a lot of the hate coming from this. Yes, you have a percentage of people who are complaining, oh, it's another woman up here. oh, it's a black woman up here, which I get. They're complaining for that. And this is her addressing all of those people. But that doesn't negate the fact that the show wasn't good. Okay. And that's the main thing about it. The show overall, the writing was bad, but it's been bad for the other shows anyways. The writing's been bad. They have George Lucas's inspiration. Okay, it's just, oh, we'll make it into a Star Wars world, but we'll now add witches, which was a non-existent thing, and we'll add these new characters, which also were non-existent. We're not going to use what's actually in the source material. We'll just be in source material. We would just be inspired by said source material. Okay, it's like when you watch a movie and it says based on a true story or inspired by a true story. And you know, based on a true story, of course, they're going to have some fabrications. But based on a true story is more like, okay, it's going to have some more realities in there. Inspired by a true story would be, okay, y'all just making things up. Okay. You know, so that was the thing. Here, I understand where she's coming from. I really do. I like, hey, the lyrics were good. Okay. The way that they came across, the way that she performed them, I wouldn't say that was good, but the lyrics in of themselves were good. But the issue was she's addressing an audience that are acting out of bad faith. But from what I'm seeing, majority of the audience was not. They just wanted something good. Okay. And you have had a few people who, I guess they needed this, the majority. They needed this to be like, okay, this is really crap. You know, as opposed to what we were having before. I get her lyrics. I agree with it. You know, she's talking about the whole woke thing. She's talking about, you know, you're mad because I'm a black woman that is doing this. She's talking about, hey, you guys don't see us as being an equal. You don't see us as being a human being unless someone dies. And even then, you have to really squint to think, maybe they are. You know, so I understand. My main thing was just like, how was this going to affect your career afterwards? Because they may label you now as the problematic black person or just the problematic person. Okay. And that could really hinder your career in the future because people be like, oh, I really don't want to work with her because she may come out with another diss track, you know? So it's stuff like that. And that just seems to be the problem with it. Her and herself, honestly, you know, not to get off topic, but I just didn't think that the show was strong enough. Okay. That was just the main thing. I didn't think it was strong enough. So by her coming with this, and I mean, and her lyrics was good. You know, her lyrics were good. She said it was all about the people recognizing bigotry, the power of community, not fodder for your clickbait. Speaking of which, journalists, I'm looking at you. Did you forget it's your job to provide the truth? And that's also another thing. Okay. Journalists, they like to, I mean, they have to get your eyes on their product. Okay. So some titles, let's fudge the wording around a little bit. Okay. So we could try to get people to come and make it look, I mean, it's misleading information that they're providing. And that's what's going on. So, you know, she speaks to politics. She speaks to, you know, anti-blackness in here. She speaks to just overall being proud of being black in here as well. And what the media does, what other people do who are just casual viewers who have something to say on their keyboards typing. So I get it, but at the end of the day, I just felt like it was a different approach that she could have done in regards to this. Personally, I wouldn't have said anything. You could have your own thing on the side because at the end of the day, we know how the establishment is. And if you're too pro-black, it will come off as you are being problematic. Oh, you want to make it about race now. Oh, you know what? She just, I don't think we could work with her. And that's what I feel like may be happening in her future. But let me know what you all think down below.